What up, guys? So my voice is kind of messed up, but we have started on the kit. So we're getting ready to install the bags up here in the front and the rear. The other side's already done. It was done before, and as you can see, we have some of the interior torn out. So if you guys remember, on my car, the airlines were run actually outside of the car, so he decided to run in his inside. So it's a little bit more work, but it gets for a cleaner install. It's all run underneath the carpet and it goes all the way back. We haven't done like any of the wiring or anything like that yet.
Same on the other side. You can kind of see it a little bit down back there.
So you see the airline right there on
power
top.
Line and all the audio stuff goes back. The 3/8 airline runs right parallel with it.
And we'll show you guys the trunk. Got everything out of the trunk so far. Getting everything positioned to what we're gonna do. You can see here that's the factory strut, and you can see the air ride one. The bag is already installed on that side. And then I'll get better footage of that on when we do these ones. So, yep. We'll start taking some of these bolts out, and then we'll show you guys how everything comes out and how the bags go in. Alright guys, so we got the other front bag in. So basically you gotta take out, right down here is a bolt right here. You got the 3 on top. We also replaced the ball joint, lower ball joint. Let's see where the other one, here's the old one. Yeah. As soon as you lower is300s after a certain point or bag them, they're known for basically going bad, and you know you have to replace them anyway. So he went ahead and bought the aftermarket ones that were rated to be able to lower them. Then the only thing we have to do other than that was just some bolts on the bottom. You know, pretty standard suspension setup, and then we just had to slide the bag in between. And we still got to get that bolt in, a few other things, and run the line. So the line's already back here. Here's the airline right here. We just got to finish running it around and connecting everything. But yeah, that's pretty much the front. And go on the other side of the car, show you guys. Yep. So that's it right there. You can see the lines. The stainless steel line ran up. That's it right there. Alright guys, so right now we have the actual Airlift in. It's real similar to the E-level. So on this one right here, you can't really see it, but you actually hit it up. You can see the 60, 62. Then right underneath it, down, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, all 4 corners. Then you got this one right here that does, you can see where those little 75 popped up, that's to the preset. So if you hit it, then it'll actually go all the way up. And then this one right here, right above it, you can manually do like just the top. And then this one down here, you can manually actually air it out all the way. And then the car laid out like that. And then now into the trunk setup. What we have in the trunk setup, it's a work in progress. Obviously he needed the car up and running, so you got your compressor right there, then you got your tank set up down here, you got the wiring with the brain, where the brain's back there in the back, the airlift brain, and right here you got some of the wiring. So this was just temporary to get the car up and running because he needed to use the car. So of course, you know, it's gonna look a lot nicer in the end. He's planning to build a little box that goes over that. And we can also see a little quick connect on the bottom of the tank, so you can actually plug up an air hose if you want. So like I said, it's not pretty, it's not done, so we still have some work to do.
Yeah.
first, I wanted to apologize to you guys about how dark the video was. Around that time, it got like extremely cold in Texas. We were working on the car outside, and we ended up pulling it inside where we had less room. I also got really sick before the install happened. Like 2 days before we were planning to do it, I was coughing, and just like, I really didn't help out too much, but I still wanted to touch base with how to do an air ride install. It's pretty simple. If you guys are mechanically inclined, anyone can do it. When it comes to the actual struts, like for the front and the rear, it's just like doing suspension on any car. You know, you got to pull the strut assembly out, whichever way that comes out. So you know, if you were doing lowering springs or doing coilovers, you know, it's the same principle there. You take each bag out, so you take the bags out, or you take each strut out, and you replace it with a bag strut that it comes with. After that portion, then that's when you want to take your time and run your lines. So you don't have to do it in that order, but typically I put the bags on first, then I run my air lines to see exactly how I'm going to do it, figure out what's the easiest way. Like my buddy did here with his IS, he went ahead and ran them inside the car, and there's some advantages to that, so you got to decide if you did that. I've never done it before. It's a lot of work, especially if you want to run it, you know, underneath the carpet and all that stuff. It's a lot of extra work, but you know, it's well worth it, you know, for some people like him. The other thing is, after you run your airlines, you want to make sure you run the electronics and all that stuff, usually through the same way, because you got to run the controller from the front to the back. So it's really not that bad. But what I do want to say is that if you don't feel like comfortable doing it, it's not a problem to pay somebody to do it. Most people rush during the install, so they end up having leaks in the lines, and then they end up having like the electronics are done wrong, you know, so the car is not airing up properly, it's not done right. So if you're gonna do it yourself, make sure you give yourself at least 2 to 3 days without having a car that you don't need it. If you're gonna start like on a Friday night after work, you could probably get it done by Sunday night, but I would still recommend having like somebody who knows. If it's your very first install, it's probably going to take you longer than that if you take your time. But if this is like your main vehicle and you need it, you know, I would recommend just for, you know, go ahead and paying somebody else to put it in. Like I said, I'm sorry that the video didn't come out too good and my voice was all messed up, but I'm planning to bag the charger anyway, so when we do that, I'm gonna get a lot more content for you guys, showing you how to install it. So yeah, that's the is300 bagged out on the Airlift 3-piece system.